Hello anglers, this is Anglers 48. Thank you for joining us, guys. We are here already and fishing trip for this morning. I didn't bring anything. I had a couple of good hits, but it was just a short trip. We are getting ready for some saltwater fishing, and I'm excited. I am ready to go, and it's gonna be an interesting fishing trip. It's been a long minute since I've been out saltwater fishing, and we're gonna go wading, right? We're gonna go in my wife's car. So when I go in my wife's car, I don't take the kayak, obviously, although I have thought of putting it up there. She didn't like that idea, but nonetheless, we are ready. We are gonna go away from civilization, right? I'm gonna go to the north side of town and start walking north along the shoreline, maybe about 2 miles or so. We get to a particular area, and yeah, that's a good area to fish. It's a little sweet spot, targeting redfish before sunrise, and after sunrise, we're gonna be targeting some trout, right? Some trout, and yeah, hopefully some gator trout, right? But we do want to get the limit first. So where do we start, right? When we go fishing in my wife's car, I have to be a little bit more civilized than when I take my truck, the red wagon. So I gotta rely on some good storage containers. I'm gonna put all the sticky elements, cast net, dirty boots, dirty clothes right in here, any baits in here, just to keep the car and everything else clean. Now, I've done this type of fishing before, and you want to go light. I go light. So the plan is, depending on the weather, here in Deep South Texas, Tuesday, which is tomorrow, is the best weather day, right? Wind-wise. So what I want to do is I'm going to take my loose ultralight rod and my Creed 1, right? 8-pound test line. And I am kind of risking it a little bit, simply because in that spot, in the dark hours, there's some biggins, right? So you risk catching a monster and breaking your line. So that's a risk. So I need to be prepared with backup leaders. So I'm gonna take this one right here. Greased it recently, and so I'm gonna take this one. The backup reel is gonna be this Daiwa 7-foot rod with a bait caster, Black Max, Abu Garcia, 50-pound braid, right? So in that hour or two, depending on how I feel, depending on the weather, because it's supposed to be a little chippy, right? It's supposed to be a little cool, and I don't want to be out there for too long during the night hours, the dark hours, freezing my butt off. So depending on all that, that's gonna factor in when I want to make that journey, right? When I want to start that journey. So it takes about 30-40 minutes to walk to that spot in the darkness. I know my way around. The thing is, you're going through harsh wildlife conditions, so you are gonna possibly run into some dangerous wildlife. So the plan is to take these two poles. I have my vest with pockets where I can take my gear. I'm gonna take my cast net, right, and my bait bucket. There is a sweet spot that I like to cast my net for some live shrimp. Again, it's been a long minute Are the shrimp still in this area? That's to be seen. Crossing my fingers that it is. If there is live shrimp, the number one bait at this point, before sunrise, cut bait, cut mullet. The top bait after sunrise is shrimp, live shrimp, off a popping cork. Now, if there's no shrimp, it's going to be artificial. And this is what I'm going to take for artificial. This is my go-to. I would recommend that you go and get this lure, right? Get it as quick as possible, because you never go wrong with the spec rig. It's a tandem rig, about 30 or 40 fluorocarbon. Look at that. My preference, yellow and white. This setup right here, yellow and white, you can't go wrong with that. So this is my number one, right? Going artificial, more shrimp. Then I'm gonna take this artificial bait. Beautiful colors. Look at that, sweet, right there. It's not a weedless, but this is the next one that I'm gonna be using. If the morning gets long and I don't get a bite, I have some options. Tandem rig, okay, right there, the plum and the hunter green. And then last but not least, that's another tandem. So that's gonna be what I'm gonna be doing, the setup. Now, I have in the past gone fishing and I have only taken one pole. But when you go fishing that far, you limit yourself. You don't have those chances, those high chances, right, of catching more fish. When I go on the kayak, I take 4 poles and they're all casted out. Man, you have better chances of one of them getting a takedown. But the good thing about taking this one right here is that the Daiwa rod floats. The Black Max fits nicely in my vest. So when I'm out on the water waiting, casting, I drag the pole along. Something happens to my creed, there's issues, broken line, I get spooled out, I have the backup Black Max right there. So, and what I do is, for the overnight hours, I take this small rod holder, which doesn't weigh very much, and both fishing poles fit in here comfortably. And all I do is just sit back and watch those fish tear into those baits. Wonderful takedowns. Obviously, you can't record overnight, but I've had some massive takedowns at that sweet spot, 2 plus miles north of Port Mansfield. It's awesome. The only thing is, no one else is there to see it or congratulate you on that catch, right? So my cooler right here, I already detached. It's a wheeled cooler. Detached the handle on it. That way it'll fit nicely in the back of my car. Right here. Nothing too fancy. I'm not gonna take the waders. I'm just gonna wear something comfortable. My water boots. I'm gonna wear jeans because of the conditions that may exist at this point in the year, right? Again, I don't want to take off of my shorts, right, and be paying the price for it later. So it's like I said, I'm super anxious. Who knows if I'm going to get any sleep, right? Because I haven't been out there in a long time. And that may be the only fishing trip that I'm going to do for the Thanksgiving break. Because we are on break and we plan to fish every single day of this break. Mostly in fresh water. But like I said, and oh, always very important, I like to make sure of a couple of things. Batteries on your flashlight are working, that you mark your fishing pole with these are the links right here. 15, right? That's the start for trout here in Texas. 20, that's the start for the end of the size limit for trout and the beginning for reds. And 28, right? So you need at least these, because I've lost measuring tapes while I'm out fishing. Then what do you measure the fish with, right? You don't want to get into that situation where you have to let fish go, or there's no way I'm going to take an oversized or an undersized. Forget it. Forget it. So be prepared in that sense. And that's pretty much it, guys. Like I said, anxious to go, but in the meantime, I'm going to do some editing on some other videos. Follow me on Facebook, follow me on Instagram, like and subscribe on YouTube. If you have a fish that you caught and you want to show it off, go to my Facebook page, Anglers 48 Fishing Addict, and upload it there, guys. You're welcome. I've got 3 groups: Anglers 48 Fishing Addict, Anglers 48 Fishing Addict on YouTube, where you can upload your YouTube video to that page, and the Anglers 48 Show. You like talking about fishing, anything and everything fishing, upload your podcast. All right? That's it. Until next time, from far Texas in Hidalgo County, and lots of love from Captain Tony, my partner in crime. He won't be going with us to Port Mansfield, but he will be there in heart and spirit. Anglers 48 signing off. Thanks for